the first system or two that you make, it's not going to be groundbreaking. Like, you're not going to create the system for systems and overnight, you're home and hosed. It might be the first 2 or 3 or 4 systems, you don't really get any big leverage. Where the magic happens is once you reach critical mass and they all start sort of compounding on top of each other. If you have that system that saves you 2 hours a week, 8 hours a month, 104 hours a year, that's just one system. Now think about adding in 20 systems. That's when you really start to get leverage and power. So focusing on it, and we've given you, a blueprint. I've not seen this sort of stuff talked about anywhere else, and I particularly chose all of the guest speakers, and thank you very much. At one point, Mark will run around, he's got a gift for you guys because you've been so generous in the information that you've shared. The final thing I really wanted you to think about, I just want to give you some 7 sort of tips on where most businesses fail when they're trying to implement systems within their business. So firstly, we already know that a lot of people think that they know it's important, but they're putting it in that not urgent. Whereas I think what we're all starting to recognise is how important it is to move up into the urgent and important. The next one is you need to keep it simple. Don't over-document. Don't go for systems that are super, detailed just yet. That can happen over time, but try and keep it as simple as possible. And a little bit of respect there to my Planet 13 days. Only start by documenting your core processes and try and use videos as best as you can. The next reason people fail is they see systems as boring. And Melissa talked about it earlier. It can be exciting. Like some people see doing systems almost like watching paint dry. But you can make it exciting. It's when you look at it and how you look at it. And once you recognise that this is what frees you up and gives you that leverage, I think, it'll get you as excited about systems as I am. The other thing is most people, they move very slowly. You'll get a great idea and then you won't actually, a lot of people just don't get around to implementing it. A lot of business owners, they move very slowly. You've got so many gold nuggets dropped in your lap today, and if you don't get around to creating systems for the next 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, 5 years, you have to multiply that out. It's the opportunity cost that Nick was talking about, where investing in systems now, you might not get the immediate payoff, but doing it further down the track, and when you go along the horizon, the return on creating those systems is huge. That's where the money is, because that's the value in your business. The most important asset you've got are your systems. So I'm hoping you're getting this. Another reason they fail is they can't let go. I was quite fortunate to have Melissa kind of step in and really become that filter between me and the rest of the team. And having worked with Melissa so long, I had that confidence to know that it was in safe hands. There needs to be a point. You have to let go. Same with the financials as well. I was across that for so long. I'm doing, every fortnight, I'm paying the team and I'm jumping into Westpac and doing out all of the different things because I felt like I had to be across it. But I know we hired someone who, follows the Melbourne SEO Services core values, and she's a bit of a rock star at what she does. I don't know why I didn't let it go sooner. And now the compounding effect, every 2 weeks, I don't have to spend half an hour or an hour calculating out the wages and then getting it paid. It's not a good use of my time and I don't like it. So you have to let it go. You also need to find somewhere that your standard operating or your smart operating procedures can live. Whether that's SystemHub or something else, it doesn't really matter. It's not about the tool, it's about having something in place where you're capturing these ideas and getting them in one place so they can grow. Obviously, SystemHub is the best tool out there and you should use it, but if you don't, as long as you've got something in place, it's better than poking yourself in the eye with a sharp stick. The final one here is focus. I think when I went on that 11-day meditation camp, and that was it there, and we had our own little cells that we were in. It felt like cells. And then we'd meditate, we'd get up at the crack of dawn at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then we'd meditate. And I don't know if you've ever sat still for an entire day not doing anything. it can be the most excruciatingly painful thing you will ever do. To sit still and not move, it sounds quite relaxing, but don't go to Vipassana as a meditation retreat if you're going for a relaxing, getaway meditation retreat. You work like you've not worked before. But when you come out of it, the focus that you get, because you spend the entire 11 days just focusing in on one thing. I almost want to do it on an annual thing, except Carolyn wouldn't let me. I might try and do it, maybe a couple of days here and there, because on the other side, the focus that I got, like that made me recognise what Nick was talking about, how once you get your mind right, it's amazing to see what happened in the business. I remember we were on a sales call with Melissa, and then afterwards, she's like, I have never heard you speak so commanding and so directly. Like I was coming from the right place to help the client, but I was just feeling different. So if you can, make the time. And if you've ever wondered what I looked like after 11 days at a meditation camp, wonder no more. Very hairy and quite happy. So they're the 7 reasons why people fail when it comes to systems. They're not seeing it as important and urgent. They're complicating things. They think it's boring. They're moving slowly. They can't let go. They're using the wrong tools, and they've got a lack of focus.